you, Charlie, your background, and then we dive into the software, the boardroom software that you guys been representing, and I think it's phenomenal. So, but before, introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, happy to. Happy to. So yeah, my name's Charlie Camisasca. Hello to everybody. I'm the founder of Boardroom, but uh, before that, my background professionally is in software implementation. So for about 10 years, I had the opportunity to help some kind of Fortune 500 level companies like Nissan, uh, Lockheed Martin, Alcon, and some others to implement workflow automation software. So enterprise type software implementation is my professional background, but after that I got really interested in starting a business, and so
Right.
started experimenting with e-commerce back in 2018 for the first time. And my first little online brand was actually an Amazon FBA private label brand where I was selling biodegradable disposable plates on Amazon, believe it or not. Something as niche and
Okay.
specific as that. But it was cool, man. I learned a lot from that process and made a ton of mistakes, but fortunately sold a lot of those plates. So I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. For how long you
Yeah.
been doing that? For how long you did it?
Yeah, well, so I'm not running those brands anymore. From Amazon, I ran that brand for about 2 years, and then pivoted to Shopify and
Okay.
started running a couple of drop shipping brands and then some other business models as well through Shopify. And so, yeah, I was running those brands for another couple of years, and then kind of pivoted into the software space after that. And I'm happy to share about kind of how I came to that decision to do that. But that's kind of my background roughly.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Nice. Would you like more Shopify or Amazon?
Man, I think that they both have their merits. And what I really recommend for brands is that you don't have to pick between the two of them, right? They're complementary, not necessarily in opposition to one another. If, for example, you're doing Shopify, um, to drop ship your product, for example, to get started, maybe you just want to test some ideas through drop shipping, you can pivot to Amazon down the line. And there are huge benefits to doing so. Amazon FBA has a ton of benefits, right? Just getting your product listed as available with prime shipping is such a selling point. And so, I'd encourage brands to think about Amazon and Shopify as two sides of a coin, two weapons in your arsenal, if you will,
Right.
from e-commerce.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think both of them have some good and some bad things, but you
Yeah.
definitely need to be on both of them. Same thing, the other platforms that's coming like TikTok Shop, Walmart. I think if your brand doing well in one of the platforms, you definitely should start diversifying and be in every other platform, you know. So it's a must. It's a must. Now, if you're not doing well in one of them and you're trying to do you need to find out at least one first doing good, and then you can start pivoting into the other ones. But doing all of them at the same time and not doing well, I don't think it's a proper way of doing business.
Yeah, could not agree more. You don't want to spread yourself so thin when you're not finding success on any one given platform. You
Right.
want to, I think something that I talk about a lot is entrepreneurs having shiny object syndrome. I don't know if
Right.
you heard of that. Yeah, right. Where you
Yes,
kind of
yes.
you're attracted to whatever the latest fad is that you saw in a TikTok video or something like that. And and you're just stretched too thin. You got to have focus in e-commerce. You got to pick your lane, and you got to dig deep and find success there. And then, of course, once you have something that works, then you look to, okay, how can I expand this? How can I move to other marketplaces, or different marketing strategies that are going to help me grow this thing further.
Yes, definitely, definitely. All right, Charlie. So let's talk about your software then. What is the Boardroom is about, and give me your sell pitch. You know, what is so good about it?
Yeah, yeah, happy to do that. I think what's most helpful when I get asked this question is to kind of talk about the inspiration for why I created this in the first place. So I'll kind of continue my little background story then. Like I said, I started an Amazon brand, started a few different Shopify brands, and really I got tired of this dynamic while I was managing those brands. And I mean the dynamic of needing 10 Shopify apps to run my store effectively, logging into 5 or 6 advertising platforms to monitor how my marketing is doing, downloading spreadsheets from all of these different platforms, and then doing manual calculations in the spreadsheet to do my monthly financial reports, calculating my net profit. I got sick of that process of just feeling again like I was spread too thin almost by logging into all of these different apps and platforms to manage my business. And so that was kind of the inspiration for Boardroom, right? I had this light bulb moment where I realized I can't be the only one who's feeling this frustration and having this pain point as I run these brands. And so I decided to kind of use my background in software implementation combined with the e-commerce stuff that I had learned to come up with Boardroom. And what Boardroom really is it's kind of a one-stop shop, right? It's a single dashboard with all of your most important data and processes in one place. So those two words, data and processes, are really kind of key for us. And I'm happy to dig into exactly what's underneath both of those rocks, if you will. But that's kind of how Boardroom was born, and that's what Boardroom is. It's a centralized dashboard for monitoring, reporting on, and managing an online business.
Can you give a little bit more information on what type of data do you combine? You know, because like you mentioned, there's so many reports and so many different platforms. So which one exactly that you pull the data from, so our listeners can know.
Yeah, definitely. It's a super important question. And we've kind of focused on what we view as the most important platforms first. So Boardroom pulls in data from Shopify, Amazon Seller Central, Amazon Advertising as well, which is really a separate platform, um,
Right.
Google Analytics, Google Ads, Meta, so Facebook and Instagram advertising, as well as TikTok ads as well.
Okay.
Uh, so that's our current integration list, and we are constantly building something new.
Okay.
The more integrations we have, the better is kind of our philosophy. So I think TikTok Shop you mentioned is another huge one. We also would like to integrate with Etsy this year as well.
Okay. Yeah, TikTok Shop definitely it's a growing platform. Still kind of unknown with this whole situation with the government and Congress. See if
Right.
it's gonna be blocked. It's not gonna be blocked. Let's see what happens. But it's definitely a future of e-commerce. I think Gary Vee talks about it a lot. The live shopping. You know, I think if TikTok's not gonna stay, there's gonna be some platform that are gonna do it, and it's gonna be the future of shopping. You know.
Yeah, I think
So
there's a
my
lot to that.
my other question is, like, we all heard about nowadays it's a very like a boom term, AI. Okay, so how does Ballroom leverage the AI?
Yeah, great question. So when this whole AI craze started, which was really in like late 2022, is when people discovered Chat GPT and suddenly AI was like top of mind for a ton of people. We just decided well, what the heck? Let's integrate with that too and see how we can use it for e-commerce. Um, and so the primary ways that we use AI are in SEO and content creation. So
Okay.
in Boardroom, you can use AI to do things like keyword research. You
Okay.
can create blog posts using AI. You can create product descriptions using AI. You can draft your emails, and you can even create product images using AI as well.
Okay.
So content creation is a huge one. We weave that into SEO as well. But those are the main use cases that we've accomplished so far with AI. But we're always looking for other ones as well.
Okay. How effective does it, because you have that e-commerce background with Amazon and Shopify, in the Amazon part, how important the optimization of the listing is. And of course, if you have a private label, that's the most important thing. How effective does the AI that Boardroom have affects the title and the descriptions, how good it is?
Yeah, we use industry best practices that are kind of baked into our prompts for generating the content. So it's great is the answer, but we also have a really great SEO platform that's been integrated into Boardroom as well. And I wonder if I could show you it actually. Is a demo something that you typically do on
Yeah,
these
sure, of
calls?
course.
Okay, cool. I
That would
think it
be
would
the
be
best way.
helpful. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about it all day, but I think it's more helpful if people can actually see it. So looks like you'll need to enable screen sharing.
Doing that right now. Done.
Okay, awesome. All right. So are you able to see the Boardroom dashboard here?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So so yeah, I wanted to kind of just take a moment and walk through some of these features related to SEO and AI. Um, because we've been able to help our users kind of reliably grow organic traffic for their Shopify sites. That's one of the biggest impacts that we've been able to have for our users. And I'd love to show you kind of like what that process looks like and how we help people optimize content using AI. Before I get there, just kind of want to mention that what we're looking at here is kind of the reporting dashboard for Boardroom. This is the homepage, and you can see I've got 1, 2, 3 Shopify sites connected here, and I've got an Amazon account connected as well. And this is all just kind of dummy data for the demo.
Okay.
But this is showing me total revenue and then all of those sales channels, what the revenue is from those. You can see ad spend here because I've pulled in data from Google Ads, for example, um, and then some metrics here as well. Um, there are only 4 metrics on this page, but we have this page, for example, which is kind of our dedicated KPIs page, showing you like all of the metrics you could ever care about at your online brand, along with a tooltip here that tells you how everything is calculated, so you know exactly what you're looking at. You can totally customize the dashboard as well. You can see displayed KPIs here to the right. If I don't care about gross total orders, I just remove it, and then it's going to be hidden here when I close this. So I can change the order as well. And basically, what I'm doing is creating a customized dashboard here so that I'm only looking at the things that I really care about when I'm monitoring my brand. Um, so I know we want to talk about SEO and AI mostly, but I just wanted to kind of flash up some of the reporting and data features too, because that's kind of core to what Boardroom does, right? We're pulling all of your data and your processes into one dashboard. So any questions about that before I move on to the next?
No, and I think it's an amazing way of seeing the data, because usually if you pull out the report from Amazon or Shopify, it's very raw. So
Yeah.
you need to really understand, and when you put it in this way, it's a lot easier to read and analyze your store. And one of the things that I want to ask, I saw that you have multiple stores, so you can connect not only one Shopify store, you can connect multiple Shopify stores, correct? Same thing with Amazon, you can have multiple Amazon stores or just only one.
No, that's correct. You could connect multiple Shopify and multiple Amazon stores into Boardroom. We know that more and more sellers are kind of diversifying, owning multiple brands. And
Right.
so having this consolidated dashboard, for us, it was a must to enable people to link multiple stores.
Okay, that's a must. That's a great one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we could look at a lot more data and analytics features. We have a ton of entire pages dedicated to specific cuts of your data, but I want to zero in on the SEO and AI features first. We can come back and look at those if we want to, if we have time, maybe at the end. But like I said, we've been able to really help our users generate organic traffic um, through SEO. Now, SEO kind of scares people off, I think,
Mm.
because it's complicated. It's often a little bit expensive, um, and people just aren't sure, where to start necessarily. But we've kind of streamlined everything using this AI integration. So let me show you what I mean. The first feature I want to show is keyword research, and the reason I want to start there is that the first step of SEO in general is to identify what keywords your customers are searching on Google, right? You have to know what your customers are typing into Google. And so Boardroom can help you figure that out using AI. All you have to do is type in a single keyword. For example, maybe you type in the name of the product that you're selling. In this example, let's say I'm selling snowboards on my store. I would type in snowboard and click generate. So now in the background, we're using AI to generate a report and pulling in data on dozens of keywords related to snowboards. So in this case, you can see we have 46 keywords that were pulled in here. They're all sort of adjacent or related to snowboarding in some way. So it's a great brainstorming tool. But for each of these, we give you Google search volume, cost per click for advertising, how competitive it is to advertise for those keywords. And then this one, which is SEO ranking difficulty. This is sort of an evaluation of how many other brands are trying to organically rank for this particular keyword.
So the
So
ad
what
competition that you're saying it's 100, it means super competitive. That's like
yes,
from 0 to 100.
that's right. It means a lot of people are advertising for that keyword. And if you look at these, it makes sense, right? There are a lot of people selling snowboarding boots. So
Right.
that's a very advertising heavy keyword, right? A lot of people are trying to get clicks for that are selling products. But what's interesting is that it actually has a low ranking difficulty for SEO. So what that means is that a lot of people are paying for clicks, but not a lot of people are looking for organic clicks for this keyword. So
Mm.
I actually think this is a good candidate for targeting on our website, right? Because if step one of SEO is to identify keywords, step two is to create content that targets those keywords. That's just kind of step two of SEO, right? So one primary focus, one primary way to create that content is through a blog. And e-commerce brands, best in class e-commerce brands all have a blog. The reason for that is just this very reason that creating organic blog content which answers the questions that your users are your customers rather are typing into Google is a fantastic way to get organic traffic coming into your website monthly, right? So you don't have to pay for every click. You just target what they're searching, and then going forward, you'll be getting traffic through those keywords. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool. So like I said, step two is going to be to create the content. Boardroom helps with that too. So you'll notice we have create blog post here right next to this keyword. I'll click that, and it's going to take me over to a new page in the app, um, our create blog post form. And you can see this keyword has been plugged in here as the primary keyword that I want to rank for SEO purposes.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'll have AI suggest a topic for this article by clicking this button. Choosing the right snowboarding boots, a comprehensive guide for every rider. That sounds like a great blog post article topic title that's going to answer the questions of somebody who is possibly in the market to buy some snowboarding boots, right? So that's what we're going for here. We can choose a tone here from this drop-down list, or I can enter my own custom tone. The AI is capable of writing in like any brand's voice. So you want to make sure you're specific about how your brand sounds to customers. I'll choose a word count. I could add any additional instructions here, and the AI is going to be great at following those instructions. But I just clicked generate. So the AI prompt is working in the background now, and we're creating a blog post based on the information that we just entered there. And then on the left side, you can see where I've got my posts. So I've got previously created posts that are in draft here. Here's our newly created post. It's already done. It took about 15 seconds. So we have our
I'm
title
sorry to
there.
interrupt you. So that
No,
would
go ahead.
automatically gonna be published into the Shopify store, the
Yeah,
blog.
it can be. Yeah, I'll show you
Or
that in just
where do you post those blogs if not in the Shopify store?
no, the Shopify store is the correct place. That's
Okay,
right.
okay,
That's right.
okay,
So it hasn't been published yet,
okay,
but before we get there, I'll show you a couple of other steps that you can take in Boardroom. We have this SEO editor. So when I click that, I can see all of the text of the blog post that was just created in 15 seconds by the AI. I can edit that text, I can add to it. But on the right side of the page, this is what I wanted to show you. We give this text an SEO score out of 100. So we're
okay,
analyzing this content against SEO best practices, and we're giving you a series of tips here for how to optimize this post for search engines, right? So basically, you asked me before, how good is our AI at generating SEO content that's going to rank well? This is how we help you optimize that content. The AI does a pretty good job. 70 out of 100 is not bad, but we have infused it with these tips so you can make sure you're taking everything to 100. So just to show you how this works, we have meta description here as a series of tips. You want to make sure you're adding metadata to your blog posts. Here's a Google preview of what this post would look like on Google. This is your meta description. It's just that little body of text right below the headline. And down here, we can have AI draft a meta description that's perfectly SEO optimized. And now we can refresh our SEO score, and we're going to see it was 70 before. Now it's gone up to 76, right? And these meta description tips are green. So we know we've satisfied those tips.
okay.
So you can basically just continue along that process, following the tips here, getting it to 100. It doesn't take long. And then you're giving yourself a great chance of getting organic traffic to your site. And you could publish it at any point with this button. But before you do that, what I want to mention is we also recommend that you add your own expertise to this article wherever possible, and also add products into the body of the post. So since Boardroom connects to your Shopify store, this is my favorite feature of this. We have this add products button here in the toolbar. When I click that, I can actually search for products from my Shopify store. So for this example, I'm selling snowboards. I can pull in 2 or 3 of them. Let's do 2 of them, or we'll do 3 of them. Why not? I can customize the design down here and then click add to blog post. And that's going to add these little product widgets directly into the post. So
That's
obviously the goal of getting more traffic is to grow your sales, right? So this is going to help you monetize the traffic Boardroom is going to also help you get in the first place.
Now, another question, you know how Google have its own policies and compliances, and
Yep.
sometimes I'm also sometimes very skeptical on what I'm putting in the website to make sure it complies. Does AI that you have in the ballroom understands that, and the article that's going to be written, it follows all the compliances?
Yeah, that's a great question too. Google has put out their criteria for how they decide to rank content, and basically, uh, they want to make sure that the content is relevant to the search term that was entered by the person. They want to make sure that the information in the article is reliable, so that it's factually correct. And then third, they want to make sure that it's useful, that the information has practical value. Those are Google's three criteria in ranking content. Um, Now, of course, you also can't like plagiarize or anything like that.
Right.
That's of course important, and yes, the AI is very cognizant of that. But people think that Google is going to penalize content because it's AI generated. That's totally not true. It's a complete misconception. Google has come out and said publicly that they will rank high quality content no matter where it is produced, as long as it meets those three criteria: relevant to the search term, reliable, and useful. So as long as you strive to create a post that meets those three boxes, you're good.
Awesome. That's great to know.
Yeah, yeah, happy to. Happy to share info on SEO. That's kind of an area of interest for me, certainly. Um, so yeah, just to kind of round out this little demo, like I said, you can click publish here. You can choose one of your connected Shopify sites, choose the blog, you can add a cover image, you can publish it immediately, or you can actually schedule it to be published in the future automatically. What a lot of our users like to do is they'll come into Boardroom and they'll create, 10 blog posts or something and schedule them to be posted automatically throughout the month. So they like to kind of batch their work in that way.
What is your recommendation? How many blogs should website post?
Yeah, I recommend to all of our new users that you post at least 3 articles a week.
3 a week. So we're
Yeah.
talking about 12 a month at least.
Yeah, that's my recommendation. You could get away with doing less than that, but not I think, it is to a certain extent a numbers game.
Hmm.
Not every article that you post is going to bring in traffic. It's just a fact. No matter what you do, you think you have the perfect post. I wouldn't spend a week on a post making it 100% perfect. Definitely spend some time, make it high quality, but you got to crank out a lot of posts and just start seeing what Google's algorithm responds to, and then double down on that winning strategy. It's like what we talked about at the beginning of the call, right? You want to make sure you find something that works first before
Right.
you go crazy and waste resources. So that's kind of my recommendation.
And for how long, let's say the website is relatively new, okay?
Yeah.
How long you should be posting every, let's say every single week, 3 4 blocks, when you start seeing results? That's
Yeah.
that's the biggest question with SEO, because a lot of people, because if you put an ad, you can track it, you can see the sales right away. But with the SEO, it's a little bit more complicated and it takes a lot more time. Eventually, it pays off much better. But in your opinion, in your experience, how long you should constantly doing it before you start seeing good results?
Yeah, I think the answer is different depending on if you're a brand new website or an established website. If you are a brand new website, the reality is Google looks at you with a little bit of distrust, right? It
Right.
says, "Oh, I don't know about this new website yet. Let's give it some time." So, what you need to do is post consistently for 3 months and
Okay.
just don't expect to get any traffic. But in that third month, we've seen users start to pick up traffic. So, it's really not that long if you think about it. If
Right.
you're in this to start a real business, 3 months is worth the investment to start getting organic traffic consistently for your website, right? Because like you said, it pays off dividends in the long run. Free traffic is better than paid traffic,
For
is
sure.
another way to think about it.
Yes.
So that's the answer if you're a brand new website. If you're a more established business, then Boardroom's blogs can start producing traffic very quickly. Within a couple of weeks, we've seen customers starting to get traffic through blogs that they created in the app, and that's because of the SEO features that I was showing you here, right? These SEO best practices really go a long way in making sure you have the best chance of ranking for the keyword that you're targeting.
Amazing. Amazing. Awesome.
Cool. So last thing about the SEO feature, and then I'll kind of quit the demo. Like I said, step one was keyword research. Step two was creating content on the website that targets those keywords. Then step three, if you really want to shorten that time frame from 3 months maybe down to two, or you know, if you want to just kind of pour some gasoline on the SEO fire and get some more traffic more quickly for your brand, then getting backlinks is a huge way to do that. So, backlinks, if you're not familiar, it's when some third party website in your
Okay.
industry creates a hyperlink back to your website. And the more trustworthy that third party website is, the better it is for your brand, right? It's a trust signal to Google. Oh, this trustworthy website is linking back to this new website. Maybe this new website is worth ranking. That's
Mm.
kind of the idea.
Right.
And so you can actually hire Boardroom to get backlinks for your website. We have a service that's an optional premium service. You'll see this get backlinks option next to all of these published blog posts. And basically, you can hire Boardroom to go out and pitch bloggers that are in your industry and tell them about your brand and get them to link back to your site. And so we actually guarantee that we will get backlinks for you for a pretty small fee, all things told.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really good.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, SEO scares people off, and we just wanted to streamline it as much as possible. So this like 1, 2, 3 step process is what we were going for.
I think I think it's one of the best things that Ballroom have. It's really good. It's amazing.
Awesome. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. This is my favorite feature of Boardroom as well.
Any new features that you guys planning to integrate in near future?
Yeah, yeah. Always, we're always working on something new. Um, Specifically, what we're doing right now is we're creating a custom metric tool. Basically, so soon in Boardroom, right on this page that we were looking at before, our users are going to be able to create custom metrics. So essentially, what that means is you'll be able to take any two of these metrics and add them together, or multiply them, or divide them, and Boardroom will start tracking that as a custom metric for you. I'm excited for that because it's going to make the dashboard even more flexible than it already is. And basically, no matter what industry your business is in, no matter what products you're selling online, no matter what very specific metrics are important for you, you'll be able to manipulate this dashboard almost like it was a spreadsheet, but like a really well designed spreadsheet that tracks all of your data automatically and in real time. right here in Boardroom. So I think it's going to be a super cool feature, and I'm super excited to launch that probably in February.
Oh, February, it's already in a couple of days.
I
Awesome.
know.
This is awesome. Charlie, one of the questions that I like to ask entrepreneurs, sometimes a little bit more personal questions,
Sure.
besides the ballroom, the software itself. Building something innovative and challenging like this software, what was your biggest obstacle and how did you overcome it?
Ooh, that's a great question. Let me think about that for a second. I think for me, my biggest obstacle in building Boardroom was that I'm not a software developer, myself. I have experience managing software implementation projects, like I mentioned, from my professional career. But
Mhm.
I'm not a coder. I can't write code and build this thing myself. So there were a lot of unknowns for me before I jumped into developing an app.
Okay.
But I think, the way that I overcame this was finding great people to work with. And I think that's what's probably applicable to other entrepreneurs, no matter if you're starting an app or building an e-commerce brand from the ground up, is you can't do everything yourself.
Right.
So you have
Need a
to
team.
find, yeah, you gotta build a team. Exactly, Alex says. You have to find people who have strong skill sets where your skill sets are not strong, right? Don't
Right.
try to do everything. Recruit people who can help cover your weak spots, and that way you can focus on your strengths, and that's what's going to help you grow your business.
Charlie from Boardroom, thank you very much for your time for your software, which is amazing. We're gonna leave the link, our affiliate link, with you guys in case someone is interested. If somebody wanna connect with you directly, what would be the best way to communicate?
Yeah, people can find us, just Google Boardroom, Ecom
Okay.
Boardroom, or Boardroom Shopify app, and we'll come up. Um, on our website, you'll see, first of all, a contact page, very easy, straightforward. But also, you'll notice we have a book a call link posted all over the place on our website. And that's intentional. We love to talk with people on the phone and actually understand your business. I personally just love connecting with other entrepreneurs like yourself, Alexis. So it's been awesome, by the way, being on, your show today. And I would love to connect with any of your listeners who are interested. Just head over to ecomboardroom.com and schedule some time, and we'll chat.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much again for your time and for all your knowledge.
You got it. Thank you for having me on, Alexis. Really appreciate it.